Hey, Conor Neversink farm here, and I'm talking flame weeding strategies, different ways to use the flame weeder. And it's something I've been using on my farm for many, many years, all different types of flame weeders. They are a great frontline offensive against weeds. They're easy because you're just walking, right? Nothing wrong with walking. They're efficient. They kill all the weeds in its, you know, this is a 16 inch, and in that whole 16 inches, it's going to kill whatever it comes across, right? Unlike cultivating, you're not going to get 100% like this will. But there's only certain places you can do it. Like I can't come along and start weeding in between, flaming in between this chart, right? We're at the cultivation stage there. But hopefully I can get it beforehand. So in the spring, when the beds are ready to go, but we're waiting for the frost to go away. If it's not raining, we'll put on sprinklers, and we'll get whatever weeds are in the field to germinate so that I could come along before planting and flame them off. Right? It's an empty bed. I haven't planted it yet. It's nice and easy. Because cultivating a whole bed, it's a little time consuming because you got to do the whole thing, maybe do it in strips. But this will kill everything, and a much better way to do it. So in the spring, before planting, getting out there early, getting everything that's germinating. And I know some people use plastic and they'll spread it out and carry rocks around. That actually isn't going to make all the weeds germinate, and it's actually not going to kill all those weeds. And it's heavy, moving rocks and moving the plastic and all of this. It's just easy. You're just going for a stroll. So that's why I like it. So in the spring, great to do just before planting. And another aside tip to that is I keep doing it as the areas get smaller. So we're right at the beginning of spring. We've done a lot of the planting. Everything's been planted around me, but here behind me is unplanted yet. We're going to be doing some parsnips in here. We're going to be doing, we keep seeding carrots and we keep planting lettuce because we don't want to do it all at once. So I keep them open a little bit longer, and it's a great opportunity to go back and just fire off any weeds that come through. And you can see, we're actually spending this morning looking for weeds for some B-roll, and it was difficult. And that's just because this strategy over time reduces the amount of seeds in the first layer of soil, right? Because they've been killed off. And since I don't till here, I'm not turning the soil, right? I may use the iconoclast, for the surface, but I'm not dredging up old weed seeds and bringing them to the surface. So over time, becomes less weeds and less weeds and less weeds. Now, another strategy you can use is pre-emergence for something that slowly germinates, and that's carrots. Let's go over to the carrots, and we're going to go check it out where I've actually done it so you can see. So here's a couple of beds of carrots that's direct seeded. And I do this every couple of weeks. I'll seed a couple of beds of carrots because it's easy, and I want to be able to manage that bed because it's more important to get a lot of carrots out of a bed than sparse bed of carrots. And it does take a lot of work to germinate carrots, so you don't want to suddenly get a great germination because you've been watering it and taking care of it, because you've been taking care of something else, and that's all the weed seeds that are in there. So they're going to start to germinate. But the great thing is about carrots taking a long time to germinate is you get time to get in there and burn them off. Even if you don't see anything, go in there and burn them off. Because those little thread stage weeds, you may not even be able to see. You have to get really up close. So carrots take 10 to 14 days to germinate. I come back probably a week after seeding them, and I've been watering them and everything else. So I just go and carefully burn off those beds. And then I might even wait a few days, and if they still haven't germinated yet, I'll try to get another burn off. All right, so if I see just one single carrot germinating on the whole bed or two, I'll burn it off, because I know by tomorrow or the next day all the carrots are going to germinate, and I'm going to get the last final burn off. And you can see these are lots of carrots. They germinated probably more than a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, and a nice weed-free bed. And that's going to save your beautiful germination of carrots, and they're not going to be just choking on weeds. Now we can come back, because now we have to wait until the carrots are mature, not totally mature, but you can't have these first leaves here. You've got to have a much stronger carrot to come back and start cultivating. So now we're going to give ourselves 2-3 weeks until we have nice strong carrots that we can start cultivating for the late germinating weeds. And a final tip on a strategy for flame weeding is a weekly walk. I take a daily walk around the field, but one day out of that, usually if the sun is shining, the ground is a bit dry, I'm going to walk with the flame weeder, right? Which is why I like a nice light one that I can walk around with. And if there's any empty beds or beds that are going to emerge with seeds soon, flame it off. And I'll just go around the farm, and this way I'm keeping all those empty beds flamed. And if you have a narrow flame weeder, you can start to get some paths, right? But it all depends on what's growing in there. If it's lettuce, you might be a little too close, right? But if you have, kale, which is farther apart and higher up, you can easily get this down the path and flame some paths. And then that's really nice. And when you're doing that, just keep your hood a bit low. That's going to make sure that you're not getting a lot of flame out of it. You're containing it, and keep it low. You should always be keeping it low anyway, but just keep it low so that you're not hurting your crops. All right? So I hope this helps. I hope you can get yourself a nice weed-free beds and weed-free growing on your farm. And until next time, thanks for watching.